everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back for another brand new video. Now as you can tell that clickbait delicious title, we're talking about Rangers today, as we usually do on the channel, the Rangers. Stuff has been requested quite a lot. Shout out to Scott Young at WATP underscore Pedro, I believe it is. If that's completely wrong, I do apologise. We're going to be talking about the Rangers FIFA 18 prediction, and that's what he wanted to see up on Twitter. I usually fire up sometimes, and you guys did it. Now as you can see, as I am sort of spinning this around back and forth with my mouse, I was talking about the transfers. Now, last year I kind of embarrassed myself because I made a squad, and then 2 weeks later we signed about 8 players. So I'm just going to talk about the 3 players just now that could potentially join the club, so I don't need to remake it in a couple of weeks' time. So right here I was actually talking about Jamie Walker, and the reason I think Jamie Walker will join Rangers because I think he's probably the closest one. If it was going to be in order, it'd be Walker, Mole and Naismith. Walker's card will be absolutely fantastic. He was by far the most statistically best player in the SPFL last season, along with Johnny Hayes, and I think he'll get a big upgrade from his original card. Motley again will be an interesting one because he did get an inform. I'm not really sure overall. And Naismith, if I could, I'd delete him for the squad, but I can use guys want to see him. And yeah, that's potentially what he's squad. But let's actually talk about the real Rangers players and let's get into more depth and detail. Now I believe Anwick will be around 65. He didn't play too much, so I don't see him getting like an upgrade or a downgrade or anything like that. I think he's just going to basically play like that, and his card will be alright. Hodson, I think I've put his defending too high, to be honest with you. Moving on to Danny Wilson. Oh, Danny Wilson's always someone I've actually enjoyed playing with in FIFA. His card's always been pretty fun. Left-sided defenders, I don't know what it is. If you've got a left foot in the game, it somehow makes you good. Like, you look at Vertonghen, and even every year he's sort of underrated. You've got one of the Brazilian sort of centre-backs, I can't remember his name right now. I think he's going to have a solid card again, not too much to say about him because he didn't play too much, and I don't see him playing too much anymore. Rosser, though, will be an interesting one, and the reason I put Rosser at 70, because they love the English, they really do. They love their own. He's under 21's captain. When he has played some games, he's looked very solid. I thought he had a good game against Dunfermline, sort of bossed the entire match. I think his card will be pretty good as well. Again, 70 rate just because his defence and physicality will be pretty high. But moving on to Pena now. Pena is someone I actually had a lot of difficulty with because every year his card's different. Like every year he's a centre attacking mid, then he's a centre defensive mid, then he's a centre mid, then he's 71 rated, he's 74 rated, he's 73 rated, he has an informed card. And it's just like, I don't know what to do with him. So what I've done is I've actually parked him as a centre mid, and I've just kept these stats a little bit better. Basically the same as last year, but I've sort of tweaked the defending because I believe they'll probably push that out a little bit up higher because apparently he was doing a lot of defending last season. That's the news I got from it. Now Nico will be one that was kind of surprising. Someone actually predicted 100% right last season when I said he was going to be a 75 rated gold. I got fucking slaughtered in the comments. No Rangers player will have a gold. They did. But Nico, I believe, will be dropped pretty low. Now, you might say, 72 rate, that's why is he the same rate as Pena? His physicality, his defending, his dribbling, and his pace will kill him. But I believe he'll still have a good sort of card just because of his shooting and passing, which is the main attributes for a centre attacking mid. His dribbling, again, sort of costing him a higher rating. Now, as you can see, I was talking about the goal Aldador. Morelos. I can't believe I fucking parked his name there. Now, his card again, real interest because he did start off with a 65 rated card, then jumped up to a 74 team of the season with 80 pace, 80 shooting, like a phenomenal card. Obviously, he's not going to be anywhere near like that stats wise, but I believe they'll still boost him up because he's got a lot of hype around him from other countries and that as well. Decent card. But let's get to the starting 11. The one I actually really want to talk about and has actually got my biggest boost of everyone in the Rangers squad. Spoiler alert. Look at that defence. Doesn't it look tasty? Now, Fods, yes, he has been boosted up tremendously high. I believe he was like 67 last season or something like that. I've put him up to a 73. I know. I might just be a wee bit biased, but I think he's brilliant. And the reason I am going to give him statistically a much higher card is because his his diving's much higher, and so is his reflexes. That's sort of the main attributes for a sort of ranking of the goalkeeper. You go back and look, they could have everything else like positioning that well high, but if they're not got diving and reflexes high, their card's shit rated. And I believe just because he's going to have pretty high with that, because you can't argue, yes you can argue about his kicking, I put his kicking down, I put his positioning down, I think his diving and reflexes are going to be pretty high, and I believe that's why he's going to be 73 rated. He's going to be my card in FIFA 18. Moving on to the Blue Cafu, again someone I kind of struggled with because I like him, I really like him. Going forward, he's one of our biggest assets completely last season, but you're looking at his card and you're like, are you actually even going to use him? And yeah, that might be a wee bit harsh to say, is anyone going to use him? He's got 81 pace, which I don't know kind of Tav's fast or no. I've watched him for about a year, maybe 2 years now. I don't care if he's fast. I've put him 81. He was 79 rated, so I boosted him a little bit. His defender I've took down because I don't think he's a very good defender. But let's talk about someone else that I boosted up, because I'm not wanting to try and be negative and diss the players, alright? I still think that's a good card for Tav. But Cardoza, oh. I should know not to dance by now because my camera's shit. But anyway, the reason I was so excited with this card, because I think he's going to get heavily boosted in the pace department. His defending physical will probably remain roughly about the same as his last year card. And he's going to be sort of one of the basic cards that I think is going to be in every single person's SPL squad builder. You look at his pace, I think is his main attribute again with his defensive abilities. And he's got that perfect link with Bruno, who we talk about in just a sec. Bruno is going to get the Colo Toure treatment, and if you don't know what that means, it just means when he joined Celtic, nothing happened to his card at all. He just kind of remained the exact same. And I believe that's going to happen to Bruno. Maybe tweak sort of his physicality and put it up a little bit. Maybe boost up his passing. I think that's all you can really do for a Bruno card. They're not going to fix his pace. I think he's going to be heavily underused just because of that, but I think he's going to make a good partnership, and if you obviously want to make a Rangers squad, you're going to play with Bruno rather than Danny Wilson. Sorry if my camera's glitching again. I know it's shit. I'm getting a new one at the end of the month. Laptop, that is. Now, talking about Jogger, as I'm slowly making a jogging movement there. Again, I think I put his defending up too high. He's always got one of these cards. To be fair to him, I always like to diss him and everything like that, but obviously I do love Waldo as an actual person because of what he's done for the club. He's one of these guys that has a great card every year for Rangers. If you go back and look at every single year that he's actually been in the game, his Scotland card is the one used for the Nationals. It doesn't matter who they are. I believe Tierney is the best left back in the country just now, but I feel like Wallace is still going to have an overpowered card compared to Tierney. Maybe you guys can let me know. Who do you think is going to have a better card to actually use in game? I think Wallace's physicality and his pace will outweigh Tierney's. Now, the flat midfield, aka the midfield of dreams. Look at this midfield, apart from like the left side, but we'll talk about that. Candeas, again, is going to be one of these players that boosted quite heavily his pace. I'm not really fixed his rating. I think I've moved up 1 or 2 just because I had an okay season last season in the Turkey League, and I believe he'll be slightly boosted joining the SPFL. His main attributes will be his physicality, his pace, and he'll have okay dribbling. His crossing should be pretty good, but apart from that, like his short range passing, I expect to be pretty low because they always have been. His shooting's going to be pretty poor. He might be one of the most overused SPFL players, or it might just not be none. And here he is, the man of the moment, Ryan Jack. I talked about him in my Aberdeen prediction last season. I talked about how good he was. And how underrated he was and how much I wanted him to join Rangers. And if you're looking at it, I believe he'll be about 72 rated. But what I'd love to see, actually, I kind of fucked this up. I think it was actually, yeah, I ended up pressing it again. But what I actually want to see, I think he'll be a 73 rated cam. If they play him at centre mid, he'll be probably 72 rated. But if they drop him into the cam role, I believe they'll boost him up to the 73 rated mark. And I just believe passing and shooting doesn't really matter if you're a CDM. All that matters is your defending, your physicality. And I believe that's why it will go up to a 73 if his base card is a centre defensive mid. If it's a centre mid, it might even be lower than 72, just because he's not got anything that boosts. Like in FIFA's mind, if you're a centre mid, you need to have good pace, good passing, good dribbling. A bit like Dorrance, who I'm actually shaking about in the camera just now. He's got an overall well-rounded card, and that's because he's a centre mid, and that's what you need to be a centre mid. You could argue he could be the only one that could become a gold for Rangers, but I just don't see them doing that. I believe they'll put more value as I'm being a 74 rated silver than a 75 rated gold that's easily to get in packs. I believe they'll be a wee bit smart with this one. They'll be like, yes, everyone will know, like in the SPFL, like Scott Brown's been a silver before even when he should have been a gold, because they do that for the card weight, so that it's more expensive and they get more money. Let's talk about Bango Boy. I believe, by the way, Dorrance will probably be the best overall card in the SPFL, I think, in the midfield wise anyway. Joshua Windass will be an interesting one. I believe he'll round about the 67 mark. I don't think he'll get upgraded too much. Yes, he's had 2 good games this season, but let's not forget what he did last season where he was pretty poor. I don't know where they'll play him. I don't know if they'll put him as a centre attacking mid, or if they'll actually be updated with Scottish football and play him as a left mid. I personally don't believe they will play him as a left mid, because I just don't think they care about Scottish football enough. Like, they just don't give a shit. They're just like, oh, aye. Where did he play last season? I just gave him the same card, it doesn't matter. Well, we update Neymar's tattoo as it's no longer an X, it's a circle on his neck. Well, we get the shit game faces, no stadiums, everything like that. But yeah, ran over, could be an interesting midfield, but I just feel like Windass will never be used. I really apologise, Banga Boy, you know I love you. I just don't see him being used very much because his card's not that great. The 2 strikers I went with in my starting 11 is going to be the big sexy himself, Too Sweet. and obviously King Kenny. So let's talk about King Kenny first. I put him as 69 rated because he was a 67 rated card last season and he needs to be upgraded. If he doesn't get upgraded and gets downgraded after the season he had last season in one of the worst Rangers teams that's probably ever been, he carried us last season, scored some absolute vital goals. He needs to be upgraded. I'm not saying that he needs to be a 74 rated, 72 rated, whatever. Put him up a little bit. Show some respect to the man. His shooting might be a little bit higher. It's hard to determine because he does score some goals from outside of the box. But again, I just don't think they care enough about Scottish football to give him the card that maybe he deserves. I've put him at 73 there just to mix with Herrera, just so they're equal. And let's talk about Big Sexy in just a second. Yes, his card's insane. If you didn't watch my last Scottish... my last FIFA video involving Rangers where I scored a couple of bangers against a very, very good squad and Ultimate Team, that was fun. Herrera was sort of the leading man there, phenomenal. I believe his main attributes is going to be physicality, his strength, and just his shooting. Because that's what it was in FIFA 17 when I used him, and I believe that's what it will be used again. And I think I've boosted his striker up 1 on the physicality and 1 on his shooting as well. I think that's the only thing I've really done in the card. Maybe tweak the pace a little bit just to try and make him a bit more appealing. Now, I think that squad's actually going to be pretty fun, and I think it's a fair reflection. You might say, oh, you've underrated a lot of the Rangers players. They're not going to all get gold or anything, lads. You've got to understand that base silver / higher end silver will probably be the highest we'll actually get. And to be honest with you, I just want to get Naismith out of my squad because it's upsetting me. Yep, we'll fire Watford's in there. What do you guys think of my squad that I've actually created? How many do you think I'll get right this season? I believe I got 4 last season, perfectly correct, rating-wise. Will I get any more this time? Maybe you guys will let me know who your top 3 would be. And if you like any of these cards, make sure you smash that like button, dropping some comments, and subscribing as we chase down this 9k motherfucking target. I've been CJ Novo 92. I almost forgot to do the sponsor break again. Sponsor break! And we're back to end the video once again. I don't know what it is. I'm almost forgetting to do the sponsor breaks. I think it's because it's no Iron Brew or Cola. Anyway, hope you enjoyed your refreshments. Yeah, it's the video over. Bye. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.